During World War II, India was a part of the British Empire and had been for a very long time. During the war, 2.5 million Indians of all religions served in the British Indian Army, fighting valiantly in scores of distinguished regiments in North Africa, Italy and the Far East. In India, there was an active independence movement, the Indian National Congress, led by men such as Mohandas Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru, among others. One former leader, Subhash Chandra Bose, saw an opportunity to hasten a British exit from India in the enormous number of Indian troops taken prisoner in the early stages of the war, alongside tens of thousands of British, Commonwealth and other Empire soldiers. Bose had escaped from house arrest in India in January 1941, travelling to Nazi Germany via Afghanistan and the Soviet Union. In Berlin, he had meetings with German Foreign Minister Joachim von Ribbentrop and also Adolf Hitler. He was allowed to set up a Free India radio station. Erwin Rommel's victories in Libya provided Bose with a fertile recruitment base. Over a period of some months in 1941 to 42, 10,000 Indian volunteers were sent to Germany for training. Dr. Goebbels proudly proclaimed the formation of the Indian National Army in January 1942, known in the Wehrmacht as the Free Indian Legion. Many Indian soldiers refused to cooperate with Bose and remained steadfastly loyal to the British, while some were rather lukewarm recruits. Some were sent back to prisoner of war camps. The Legion never exceeded 4,500 men. The Indians wore German uniforms with a special Free Indian Legion shoulder patch and helmet decal. Sikhs wore turbans and beards, and the Germans were careful to observe all the religious customs of the British Indian Army. The Indian Legion would not be expected to serve on any front other than in India for fighting the British, though a German invasion of India was never really on the cards, and this promise would be broken. Normally, British Indian Army regiments recruited men on the basis of religion and regional or caste identity. Bose ensured that the Indian Legion was mixed up to reflect a unified India. 59% were Hindus, 25% Muslims, 14% Sikhs, and 2% other religions. The Legion was eventually designated the 950th Panzergrenadier Regiment Indians, and had 81 vehicles and 700 horses. In addition to 3 infantry battalions, there was an infantry gun company with 6 7.5 cm artillery guns, an anti-tank company with 6 pack guns, and an engineer company. In April 1943, the Indian Legion went to Zeeland in the Netherlands to man the Atlantic Wall, then to France in September. The battalions were deployed at various points on the French and Belgian coasts and were detested by locals by all accounts. The Indian Legion was next transferred to the Waffen-SS and stationed near Bordeaux. D-Day placed the Indian Legion in a difficult situation. If captured by the British, its members faced charges of treason, which carried the death penalty or long imprisonment. In August 1944, the unit was pulled out of France, engaging in sporadic fights with the French resistance, arriving in Germany in the winter of 1944. One company of the 2nd Battalion was in Italy and faced British and Polish formations and was used in anti-partisan operations. In April 1945, the company surrendered to the British. The rest of the Indian Legion in Germany now thought about saving themselves from British imprisonment and punishment. Close to Switzerland, the Legion marched along the shore of Lake Constance, but Swiss border guards prevented their entry into the country. Its members were mostly captured by US and Free French Moroccan forces. Some Indians were shot out of hand by French Moroccan troops at the town of Immenstadt, while most were handed over to the British. Sent back to India, the officers mostly stood trial for treason, alongside Indians who had fought for the Japanese in the so-called Indian National Army in Burma. But by now the Indian independence movement was seen as a movement of inevitability, and the British government only lightly punished most of the defendants. As for Subhash Chandra Bose, he died in Taiwan in August 1945 from burns sustained in a plane crash. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and also support my channel at PayPal and Patreon. Details in the description box below.